Hey, it's Dr. Shah from the Arizona Gut Health Institute. I want to take a moment of your time today and speak with you about prebiotics. Now, in prior posts and videos, I've talked a lot about probiotics. Those are the healthy bacteria that we can get in supplement form or by taking in certain fermented foods like kimchi and sauerkraut. But is it enough just to introduce healthy bacteria into our gut? Or do we also need to help ensure that they thrive and that we nurture them? Well, the answer is probably obvious. We can't just rely on introducing quote-unquote good bacteria to our gut in order to ensure better health. We also have to make sure that we're consuming the kinds of foods that will promote and nurture the right kind of bacteria in our gut. Today, I want to talk about the original source of prebiotics, and that is human breast milk. So human breast milk is a pretty wondrous and amazing substance that contains a lot of invaluable ingredients that are vital for baby's health. For example, fat and sugar. But interestingly, human breast milk also contains about 100 oligosaccharides that the baby cannot digest. And so that obviously begs the question, what good are these oligosaccharides? Well, science is revealing some really interesting stuff about why it is that mothers make 100 oligosaccharides and insert them into human breast milk. So these oligosaccharides that are often referred to as HMOs, human milk oligosaccharides, come to find out, promote the growth of very particular species of bacteria in the gut. Now, just for comparison's sake, let's look at milk from another mammal, a cow, which is commonly available in Western society. Cow milk has about 20 oligosaccharides that we've been able to identify. Compare that to human breast milk that has 100. So we have 5-fold the number of oligosaccharides in human breast milk compared to cow milk. But it's even more compelling than that. Not only do we have a larger variety of these oligosaccharides, but we have about 300 to 400 times the number of oligosaccharides in human breast milk compared to cow milk. So what makes for that difference? Why is it that human milk is so much more complex? Well, we're going to get into that a little bit. The first vital role that these human milk oligosaccharides serve is that they promote the growth of a very particular species of bacteria in baby's gut. It's a species known as Bifidarium infantis. Here's something really cool about these HMOs. Now, they're sugars, that's what an oligosaccharide is, and you would think, well, if that gets into the colon, then all the bacteria there are going to have a picnic on them. But that's not the way things worked out. These HMOs are only digestible by a very narrow and particular type of bacteria in the gut. All the other bacteria in the gut just get to look and watch, but they can't consume. And what that results in is that the species that can metabolize and grow on this oligosaccharides, well, they flourish. And that would be the Bifidarium infantis species. And what does this Bifidarium infantis species do once it begins to multiply and flourish in the human gut? It does a lot of things that are good and healthy for its human host. The first thing that I want to talk about is that these bacteria somehow are able to help the baby's gut identify gaps in between the cells where things may be leaking through that aren't supposed to be, and it helps that baby's gut then generate proteins that act as filler so that the gut becomes completely intact and there are no more holes in it. Babies that don't have this sort of exposure end up with a condition called leaky gut syndrome, which is a fairly serious medical condition, and I've addressed it in prior posts. But there's a second very important role that these species of bacteria, the Bifidarium infantis, serve, and that is this. They manufacture a very valuable, important substance known as sialic acid. And sialic acid is then absorbed from the baby's gut, goes in the bloodstream, and goes to the brain of the baby, where it promotes rapid, healthy growth of baby's brain. In fact, one of the reasons why we believe that there may be so many more HMOs, human milk oligosaccharides, than there are oligosaccharides in other mammalian species like cows or even chimpanzees is because it was necessary to promote the complexity of the human brain. So if your baby is intelligent, it may have less to do with her genetics and more to do with whether or not there was a proper number and the proper type of bacteria in her gut.